Hey guys, it's Mr. Abello,
And I'm Mrs. Best.
and we're going to demonstrate the eye dissection for you. So
Yeah.
watch and learn, and hopefully we don't make a lot of mistakes and you'll learn a lot. Alright, so we're going to start. I'm going to use latex gloves. So you'll see, as Mr. Hinds takes video, our table is kind of set up the way that we want your table to be set up. Our dissection tray is sitting on paper towels on the table, and all of our equipment is laid out on paper towels. So Ms. Best will show you what you need for the equipment.
Okay, so for the equipment, we've got a scalpel, we've got the dissecting scissors, we've got tweezers, and if you would like, you can use the pokers, but you don't have to. Pokers?
The probes.
Probes.
So here we have probes.
Okay.
And between me and my partner, we have our eyeball parts table right there, which we will be including in our description, but as you can see, we already have the answers there. And over here, this is what we'll be providing you. This is called the liner. The liner will sit inside your dissection tray. So your first step, after putting on your goggles, which I'm actually not going to use because I'm wearing glasses already, so I don't need to wear them, is you fold the liner on the dotted lines like so that it fits perfectly in your tray. And as you can see, we're going to face it towards Mr. Hinds. There's a place for every single part of your eyeball. So here we go. Here are my supply of eyeballs. Miss Best is going to pick one that she likes. Ah, nice one. So we want to really respect everything that we touch here. So the first step is we want to examine the exterior, which Miss Best will do. And my suggestion is you want to first look for the optic nerve, because once you start pulling away the fat and muscle, you might lose it.
Okay, so that's the optic nerve right there. Opposite side, you've got the cornea, which in this case is kind of cloudy, but in a living eyeball it would be clear. And then here's all the fat and the muscle.
Awesome. Can I try?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at that. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm pulling away stuff like that. Between you and your partner, you could actually work together. And in this case, because there's some big pieces there, I'm actually going to ask Miss Best to cut it while I pull it. So you can use the scissors or the scalpel, whatever you're comfortable with. So for these big pieces, it actually helps to have two people, because as you can see, I'm pulling away while she cuts. And I think there's some big pieces over here. And maybe this part over here. And as you can see, all the pieces that we take out, there's a place for it. And exterior fat and muscle would go over here, so I kind of try to place that as much over there as I can. The rest of this eyeball, I think I'd want to clean just a little bit more around that optic nerve right there. So I'm going to pull that away. If you think you can handle pulling this by yourself, then you could do it on your own.
Oops.
So we're at the stage now that our eyeball is pretty clean on the outside. I might pull that part away, maybe. Thank you. And at this stage, you want to have one person decide where you're going to make the incision. And when we make the incision, I prefer just one person to hold the eyeball and to make the incision. You're going to try to cut along the equator of the eyeball. So if you consider the cornea to be the north pole and the optic nerve to be the south pole, you're cutting along here. So what I like to do is I find a nice juicy part right there that's nice and soft, and I feel one right there. And I prefer to use a scalpel. I'm going to make an incision right in here, trying not to lose the liquid inside. And once I've made that incision, you see, I put the scalpel down, and my preference is to use the scissors. So I'm going to cut around the eyeball now using the dissecting scissors. And what would you like to do next?
Well, actually, at this point, I'm actually going to have a closer look at some of that exterior fat and muscle and start writing down my description of it into my table, my eyeball parts table, first of all.
And we've separated our eyeball into two hemispheres. When you open it up, you'll see that the vitreous humor is just sitting in there. In my case, the lens also popped out, so at this point it wouldn't be a bad idea to just try to push all that into the area where it says vitreous humor. And if the lens pops out with it, we can go ahead and start with that and just pull that away. So that you'd need to take a description of, have your partner write that down. The lens would go in here, and Miss Bess will work on the retina.
Okay, so I'm going to use the tweezers for the retina. It's very, very delicate, the back there, and I'm going to carefully try and get a corner of it and pull it out very, very slowly and gently so that I try not to rip it. And this might take a while.
Wow, we're at 5 minutes already.
Oh boy. Okay. If I had my Mac working, then we could edit it, but...
And while Miss Bess is pulling out the retina, I'm going to work on the front side of the eyeball, whoops, and use my dissecting scissors and cut right around the cornea. Here is my cornea. Being careful to hold the iris below it. The cornea, as Miss Bess mentioned, is really cloudy in these preserved eyeballs, but as you can see it when I cut out the cornea, right below it, there's the iris. So the cornea I'm going to place right here where it says cornea. The iris I'm going to place right here. In my case, this sheep happens to have brown eyes. The extra sclera part, which is the white part, I'm going to put over here. And the part that Miss Bess removed, the retina, the part remaining is the backside of the sclera.